To see impermanence clearly makes suffering lighter, and those who awaken will find peace. The world is like an inn, and every person a traveler. We meet for a journey, yet in the end, everyone must depart. Have you ever sat alone in contemplation, no longer swept up in the busyness outside, in order to truly reflect on what a human life really is? Some lose their parents before they even mature. Some who were laughing joyfully just yesterday now lie still in a cold coffin. Some spend their whole lives caring for others and accumulating wealth, only to depart with empty hands and unceasing sighs. These stories are not unfamiliar narratives, but the law of impermanence, the path that no one can avoid in a human existence. People often only realize that life is impermanent when they have lost what is most precious. When a mother no longer calls in the morning, when a father no longer waits for dinner, when a true friend from humble times suddenly departs from this world. Only then do we startle to the realization that human life is fleeting, more fragile than a wisp of smoke, more transient than a dream. Impermanence does not serve to make us pessimistic, but to help us appreciate every remaining moment, every breath, every smile of a loved one, every song of a bird or drop of rain, as opportunities to cultivate love and live with kindness. Yet we remain engrossed in pursuing fame, material wealth, and social status, forgetting that all of it is but the late afternoon sunlight. Those who awaken early will know how to turn back along this weary path of life. Practitioners often meditate on death, not out of fear, but to live more fully with each moment. They understand that every exhale could be their last. Every sunrise could be the dawn of farewell. In the Discourse on Impermanence, the Buddha teaches that a human life is in the breath, and the human body is like froth on water. We must cultivate careful mindfulness and not let our days pass in ignorance. Reflect on this until it sinks in. Each day we live brings us one step closer to leaving this world. If we do not understand impermanence, we will live as though we are immortal. But when we truly contemplate impermanence, we let go of anger and rivalry and learn to live kindly and simply with a heart content. Those who awaken to impermanence no longer suffer over trivial things. They smile gently when they are misunderstood. They release when they are betrayed. They do not grasp at winning or losing, nor cling to what is beyond their reach. They abide peacefully in the present, knowing that only this moment is real and all else is fleeting like wind through clouds. Birth is a beginning and death is an end. Yet for those who awaken, it is merely 2 points on an endless flow. Coming and going are shared destinies for all sentient beings. No one can refuse and no one can escape. The rich die, the poor die, practitioners die. Even the wicked cannot be spared. All must pass through the final gateway called death. However, the frightening thing is not death itself, but dying with regret. Dying with a heart full of hatred. Dying with relationships left unresolved. Dying without knowing why one lived. I once visited a man in the final stages of cancer. On his sickbed, tears in his eyes, he said, "I have many houses, much land, and lots of money. But now I want only one thing: to live a few more months to apologize to my wife and children." His voice trembled. "And for my entire life, I have only known how to work hard and assume I am right." Death arrives as a great mirror revealing every crease of the soul. It does not ask how many degrees you have or care who you were in society. It only makes you ask yourself, have I lived fully? Have I loved deeply enough, forgiven enough, and lived with integrity? For Buddhists, death is not the end, but a transition from one life to another, from one realm to another, from one cause to one effect. And what guides us is not money, status, or kin, but karma. Karma is luggage that no one can hand off, ink that cannot be erased, and absolute justice from which no one can escape. Thus, understanding birth and death means learning to live rightly, so that when the final moment arrives, we can smile gently, without resentment or self-reproach. There is an old saying that never grows outdated: do not wait until you lie on a sickbed to know the value of a breath. How strange people are to reserve practice until they near death. When their bodies grow weak, their wealth loses value, and friends withdraw. Only then do they open a sutra, shed streams of tears, and utter the words, "O Buddha, my dear friend, will life give me more time?" Some depart in their sleep, some suffer a sudden stroke, while laughing some who were strong yesterday today turn to Dust impermanence gives no warning, and karmic forces do not wait for our preparations. Practice is a path to walk. While we are still healthy, lucid, and clear, it must be our first choice, not our last, if we truly care for ourselves. I once met an 80-year-old nun at a temple. Every morning, she walked with a bent back and weak legs, but never missed a single chanting session. Someone asked, "Is there still time enough for practice at your age?" She smiled, her eyes bright, like an oil lamp glimmering in the deep night, and said, "Practice gains nothing, it ensures we bring nothing with us when we go except a smile." That statement was like a bell awakening the world of suffering. Do not wait until you lose your teeth to regret simple vegetarian meals. Do not wait until you lose your voice to regret words of love left unspoken. And do not wait until you near death to realize that a human life is but a blink of an eye. If you already understand this, then today is the moment to return to the heart, return to the breath, return to the path that leads us to true peace through practice. Practice is not to become a saint, it is so that amid a world rife with suffering, we can keep our hearts free of suffering. Among countless methods, the Buddha revealed 80,000 Dharma doors. Yet the essence remains: keep the mind pure, live mindfully, sow seeds of compassion, and sincerely recite the Buddha's name. In this degenerate age of Dharma, the human mind is like grass before a storm. But a heartfelt recitation of Namo Amitabha Buddha can serve as a steadfast anchor amid the sea of life. I once witnessed a blind elder who never missed a single day of reciting the Buddha's name for 30 years. When he passed away, his lips still moved with the Buddha's name, and his face was serene as if sleeping. That was not death, but a rebirth into a realm as light as a cloud. Without precepts, there is no practice. Precepts are the foundation, the fence that prevents the mind from falling into the abyss. Upholding precepts is not about constraint, but about bringing peace to the mind, living without shame before heaven and earth, and without remorse in one's own heart. We often suffer from the past and worry about the future, forgetting that the present moment is all we truly possess. Mindfulness is returning to the breath, to each step, to each bowl of rice. Living fully is practice. Meditation is returning inward, not to achieve anything, but to release thoughts, lessen afflictions, and ease worries. In that silence, we see ourselves clearly, and all suffering dissolves. Compassion is when we no longer see anyone as an enemy. When instead of judging, we seek to understand. When instead of blaming, we practice letting go. Compassion is not weakness, but the strength that dissolves all enmity. The path of practice is not a journey on clouds, but the small daily actions. Living kindly with one's parents, remaining calm with loved ones, bowing one's head when at fault, knowing when to remain silent. Bit by bit, we polish ourselves like a craftsman, shaping the jewel within the heart. In this way, practice is no longer the domain of ordained persons alone, but the journey of all who wish to live a gentle, serene life without regret. Life is an ocean of suffering, yet those who practice learn to swim across it with the compass of loving kindness and wisdom. Suffering is neither desired nor avoidable. It appears in loss, in separation, in illness, in every unfulfilled expectation. At times, the greatest suffering is the helplessness felt when we cannot aid those we love. I once met a mother who had lost her child in an accident. She sat before the memorial photo, her hair turning gray within months, and through tears she said, "I always taught my child that a good life would protect him." I was silent for a long moment, then gently replied, "Dear sister, good deeds are not sown to avoid all suffering, but to give us the strength to endure suffering with dignity. Suffering is not punishment, but the mirror reflecting what we have sown. Sometimes the cause lies in this lifetime, sometimes in countless lifetimes before. We often ask, what did I do wrong that I suffer? Yet a Buddhist practitioner asks instead, how can I transform this karma? Knowing that karma can be changed if the mind knows true repentance and correction. Letting go is not giving up, but releasing the attachments that inflict suffering on ourselves. Letting go of unrealistic expectations, of unresolved anger, of nameless pain that lingers in the heart night after night. I once attended a retreat in the countryside. A young man remained silent throughout. Only on the final day did he share, "I was once an addict. My mother aged 10 years raising me, yet she never abandoned him. On the day he resolved to overcome his addiction, she simply said, 'You do not have to be extraordinary. Just starting over will make me happy. From that moment, he knew he could no longer abandon himself. That story moved me deeply because sometimes the one who can forgive us is not another person but ourselves. To transform suffering, we must begin with love. Love for ourselves without tormenting the heart. Love for others without responding with vengeance. Love for life by giving thanks for what remains rather than regretting what is lost. A practitioner learns to witness pain without hatred, to face suffering without collapse. Amid life's upheavals, they maintain a serene smile because they understand that all is cause and effect, all is impermanent. Each suffering is a lesson. Those who learn move forward, those who do not repeat it in another life. Therefore, when suffering arrives, sit quietly and ask, what can I learn from this pain? Once you find the answer, you will see that no suffering is meaningless and no tear is wasted. Learn to let go so your mind may find lightness. Learn to love so your heart may soften. Learn to practice so wounds may transform into marks of awakening. Cause and effect spare no one, yet compassion can dissolve all. A temple nestled at the foot of a hill with weathered wooden walls and a moss-covered tile roof stood in the late autumn night. A middle-aged man quietly knocked at its door. A dusty backpack hung from his shoulder. His face was worn, his eyes red as if he had been crying. The abbot, well into his 70s, opened the door. The man bowed deeply and choked out, "Master, may I stay for just one night? I have nowhere left to go." After a cup of hot tea, he began to tell his life story, one that the abbot later shared with disciples as a moving lesson. "I once had a wife and child and a small happy family, but I became consumed with earning money, pursuing status, indulging in senseless pleasures, and I lost everything. I committed adultery, I beat my wife and child, I disregarded my aging parents' advice. One day my wife left with our child. My parents died heartbroken over their unfilial son. Years later my wife died in an accident, and our only son was taken into an orphanage. I was too ashamed to claim him. 10 years passed, and when I finally dared to go to the orphanage, my son had been adopted abroad. I lost everything. My old home was seized by the bank. I wandered, haunted by dreams of my parents, my wife, and my child looking at me with sorrowful eyes. I wanted to end my life, but feared karma and my unfilial acts. He came seeking advice. I have done so much wrong." The abbot placed a hand on his shoulder and spoke with a calm gaze like a spring in the desert. "Knowing you have done wrong is the first step toward repentance. When you truly repent, any karma can be transformed. If your parents were still alive, they would not wish to see you end your life in despair. Your mother loved you deeply. If she were here, she would wish you to live. Live each day as though she still protects you. Live each day as an opportunity to correct past mistakes. Live as if you have this one lifetime to make things right." The man wept like a child. In the silent midnight of the meditation hall, his sobs echoed like a confession to heaven and earth. From that day on, he remained at the temple, not to ordain but to quietly clean, carry water, tend the garden, and copy sutras. When asked who he was, he only smiled. "I am the one learning to be human again. This body will dissolve into emptiness, but if the mind is pure, it will remain with heaven and earth." Have you ever considered what you will carry with you when you depart? Not wealth, not status, not loved ones. In the end, only karma remains, what we have thought, acted, and sown. Some look back at life's end with tears for angry moments, for love left unspoken, for wrongs never apologized for. They leave in regret, in torment, in sorrow beyond cleansing. But others bow with a smile, hands full of prayer beads, lips whispering the Buddha's name, hearts at peace and free of fear because they know they have lived fully, not in material terms, but in spiritual depth. The luggage for a gentle life is not a grand house, but a heart full of gratitude for life, a soul tolerant of others' faults, a heart free of vengeful hatred. A smile as you close your eyes for the last time, because there is nothing left to regret. Our ancestors taught that we are born with nothing and depart with nothing. Life's journey takes nothing with us. Why then do we chase after things we must leave behind? Why not learn to live simply, deeply, and mindfully, so that when we lie down for the final time, our hearts hold no regrets? Live each moment as one who is fully awake. Speak kindly to everyone you meet. In all you do, contemplate the law of cause and effect. Love with genuine sincerity and without attachment. Let go of what you can. Forgive whoever you can. After all, how long is a human life? When you lie down for the last time, no one will ask what luxury car you drove or how many floors your house had. People will only remember how kindly you lived, how deeply you loved, and what warmth you left in the hearts of others. The deepest luggage you carry at life's end is your character, your faith in goodness, the final chime within that tells you you did not live in vain. Dear friend, if you have read this far, please pause a moment, close your eyes, and draw in a long breath. Listen to the breath. Listen to the bell within your heart. Listen to yourself. One who has journeyed through years of joy and sorrow, error and growth, so that today you have the blessing to sit here and realize that only by protecting the purity of your own heart and living virtuously each day can you walk the shortest path to true peace. From this moment on, let every step you take leave only a gentle footprint. From this moment on, let every word you speak plant a seed of compassion. From this moment on, let every day you live be a day without waste. And when your final breath is released, may you smile, knowing that you did not squander your life. Have you ever asked yourself what truly belongs to you? This body is but a temporary vessel. Fame, wealth, likes and dislikes. All of it is like foam on water, like clouds drifting across the sky. The Buddha once taught, all conditioned phenomena are impermanent. When they arise, they cease. All phenomena are of a fleeting nature, having birth and having death. When you truly understand this, what remains to cling to? What remains to cause suffering? Life is a temporary realm, and everything in it is impermanent. Once born into this world, everyone yearns for happiness, yet few escape suffering. We suffer over what is lost and ache for what has not yet arrived. We bind ourselves with invisible cords of clinging. Suffering is not caused by life, but by our own attachments. Only when we release those clinging thoughts, only when we see impermanence clearly, can we walk lightly on the journey to awakening. We cling to money, status, emotions, and reputation, only to suffer bitterly when they slip away. But if we understand that all things are temporary, arising and passing, forming and dissolving, our hearts will be much lighter. Life is but a temporary realm. Do not make yourself miserable. The conditions of this world are as fragile as a passing breeze. When opportunity comes, cherish it. When it goes, rejoice in letting go. The Buddha taught, all phenomena are empty. When causes meet, they form. When they end, they dissolve. Clinging brings suffering. Releasing grants liberation. In love, suffering does not arise because another has wronged us, but because we have not learned how to let go. If we cling to the past, we imprison ourselves in suffering. When the mind releases, the heart finds peace. Many think that accepting impermanence means giving up or becoming indifferent. But it is not so. Accepting impermanence teaches us to treasure what we have. If you know a flower will soon wither, you will cherish it all the more while it blooms. If you know a loved one will one day depart, you will spend more time loving them, so as not to regret when they leave. When the mind abides in the present, knowing that all will change, you will no longer be tortured by life's upheavals. Like a lake without ripples, like a sky without clouds, your mind will rest in tranquil stillness, untouched by regret or sorrow. Impermanence is not something to fear, but the key that unlocks liberation from suffering. Life is like a dream, the world like a passing wind, yet people remain immersed in desire, chasing what lies beyond their reach. The poor long for wealth, the wealthy pursue power, the powerful seek immortality. Thus the wheel of ambition never stops, drawing people into an endless sea of suffering. We often presume that once we gain what we desire, happiness will follow. But have we ever asked ourselves, after gaining it, will we be satisfied, or will we crave even more? One person longs for a sheltering roof. Once they have one, they yearn for a larger home. Once they possess a grand house, they desire more land and wealth. Greed is like a bottomless pit. The more you fill it, the emptier it becomes. Only when we know contentment can the mind rest in peace. True abundance lies not in external possessions, but in inner fulfillment and gratitude. One who knows sufficiency amid poverty is happier than one who owns great wealth yet lives in constant unease. A simple bowl of rice eaten with appreciation tastes more delightful than lavish cuisine savored with a worried heart. Only when we relinquish ambition, accept what we have, and cherish the present moment can we free ourselves from suffering. Because we let our minds be bound by the unworthy, a careless glance, a thoughtless word, a trivial action, our hearts can shake with anxious disturbance for days. People easily let their minds be trapped by petty concerns and torment themselves. We suffer over criticism, fret over injustices, grieve over losses, not realizing that all of it is like clouds passing across the sky, arriving and then gone. Excessive worry only exhausts us without changing anything. What matters most is living well in the present. The future cannot be grasped, yet today slips away with each ticking moment. The future is unformed, but if we live well today, tomorrow will naturally take care of itself. Fame, fortune, emotions, status, past and future, all are but waves within our hearts. When we cling to them, we are like a small boat tossed by currents with no safe harbor. But if we know how to let go, accepting all arrivals and departures as natural, then no matter how grand our life, the mind remains as calm as an autumn lake without ripples. Celebrate conditions when they arise. Release them gently when they depart. Every meeting and parting has its cause. When causes align, beings unite and blessings arise. When causes disperse, everything changes and separations occur. You cannot force to hold what you hold today. Life, possessions, loved ones, reputation, all are temporary conditions. They come with sufficient causes and go when those causes exhaust. If we cling, pull, or push, we only bring suffering into our own hearts. What has never been ours was never truly ours. What is not ours will never belong to us. People cling to fame and wealth, giving rise to greed and competition. When these vanish, they suffer in anguish. They cling to emotions, becoming infatuated and unable to let go. Remember that every encounter in this world is like waves on the ocean. Those who loved deeply may one day be parted. When karma is fulfilled, there is meeting. When karma is exhausted, there is separation. This is nature's way. Clinging to someone or to a past love is like holding a withered flower and weeping, while spring outside still blossoms in full glory. The past exists only as a memory in the mind. It is not the reality of the present. No amount of regret or longing can turn back time. Like a river whose waters have flowed on, what is gone cannot return. Let the past drift away like a cloud dissipating in the sky. People also dwell on the future and worry endlessly. But the future has not yet arrived. Why bind our hearts to what has not occurred? Like a seed in the earth, if it has sufficient causes and conditions, it will sprout on its own. Worry and fear do not hasten its growth. They only burden our hearts with distress. Live fully in the present moment. When conditions arise, receive them with joy and cherish what you have. When they pass, let them go gently, without regret or complaint. Like a flower that blooms in spring and falls quietly in autumn, it neither suffers nor clings. If you learn to release, your mind will naturally find peace. Without clinging, life becomes as light as drifting clouds. Ignite your own wisdom so that in this temporary realm, your heart remains as still as a tranquil autumn lake, unmoved, serene, passing through gains and losses, unions and separations, understanding cause and effect, and living in peace. Nothing happens by chance in life. Every experience, whether joy or suffering, has its cause. The law of cause and effect operates impartially, sparing no one. Live honestly and sincerely, and you will receive peace. Live selfishly and harm others, and you will meet with adversity. Cause and effect are not punishment, but the natural workings of existence. When difficulties arise, people tend to complain and blame. Instead of asking, "Why do I suffer?" ask, "What have I done to bring about this result?" Understanding this reduces resentment and guides us to transform ourselves for a better future. One who lives in anger and envy will encounter only trouble. One who practices love and generosity will find life gradually lighter. Life is ever-changing. Nothing remains forever. What we hold today may be lost tomorrow. But understanding cause and effect frees us from excessive clinging and worry. we see that loss may simply mean that its karma has run its course. Rather than suffering, we learn acceptance. When conditions come, welcome them. When they go, release them gently. Living in harmony with karma means adjusting ourselves, living with integrity, being grateful for what we have, and accepting what cannot be changed. This understanding lightens our burdens and leads us to inner peace. Letting go lightens the mind. It does not mean loss, but liberation. Those unfamiliar with the Dharma often view letting go as surrendering what is theirs, suffering loss. But in Buddhist teaching, letting go means freeing the mind from bondage. It does not mean becoming indifferent or cruel toward life, but living in the world without letting worry and anxiety constrain us. Sentient beings suffer because of attachment to possessions, to status, to emotions, to the past, to the future. These are invisible cords that bind us. Clinging and fearing loss burden the mind with unrest. The Buddha taught that to find true peace, one must first learn to let go. Let go of craving, of anger, of ignorance, and then the mind can be free. When the heart is not disturbed by desire, anger, or blame, it naturally becomes light and serene. To let go, we must contemplate the nature of all things. Everything arises from conditions. When those conditions end, all dissolves. Nothing truly belongs to us forever, and nothing remains unchanged. Like flowing water, like clouds in the sky, all is temporary, forming and dispersing. If we understand this, we will no longer cling or suffer loss. Contemplating impermanence itself is a practice of letting go. Impermanence is the nature of the world. This body is impermanent. Possessions are impermanent. Relationships are impermanent. Today we may be wealthy, tomorrow destitute. Those who love us today may not be by our side tomorrow. If we cannot accept impermanence, we remain trapped in suffering. But when we understand that all will change, we no longer fear or suffer loss. In life, we often suffer because we always want more than we have. But when we know contentment, we stop chasing external things and preserve inner peace. Contentment is not about giving up striving. It is about appreciating what we have and not letting boundless desire dictate our hearts. Cultivating compassion is essential for letting go. When compassion fills the heart, we no longer cling to anger or blame, nor do we resent those who hurt us. Holding onto hatred binds us in suffering. Through forgiveness, we free both others and ourselves. Loving and forgiving lightens our hearts and releases us from afflictive attachments. Letting go is not achieved overnight, but through persistent practice in daily life. Each day we observe what unnecessary things we hold on to. Bit by bit we release, bit by bit we feel lighter. One day, when the mind is no longer entangled, we realize that life has been serene all along. Life is a temporary realm, like clouds drifting across the sky, like water flowing through a stream. Everything will pass. What we hold today may vanish tomorrow. What seems ours is merely a fleeting union of conditions. Clinging leads to suffering. Releasing leads to freedom. Only by understanding the impermanent nature of all things can we live lightly, unburdened by worry. Let your heart be open to receive life like a passing breeze, welcoming it with joy, releasing it with calm. Do not let anxiety or anger obscure your inner serenity. May everyone who hears this teaching find a measure of peace. Live like a flower in the world, silently spreading fragrance without worrying that the wind will carry it away. Do not chase the illusions of fame or the chains of past and future. When the mind is free of attachments and you learn to let go of needless afflictions, then you truly touch genuine happiness. Remember that the Buddha always teaches that all phenomena are impermanent, that human life is difficult to obtain, and that the true Dharma is hard to hear. Being born human is already a great blessing, and encountering the Buddha's teaching an even rarer good fortune. Therefore, do not let life slip by in ignorance. Live so that each day passes with purpose, so that when this life draws to a close, you have no regrets. In the ever-flowing stream of impermanence, why do some grow ever wiser and kinder with age, calm as a white cloud drifting in the sky, while others toil through hardship only to end empty-handed, without family or a single peaceful smile? Is it fate ordained on high, or the fruit of the wholesome or unwholesome seeds we have sown over countless lifetimes? The Buddha taught, If you wish to know the karma of a past life, observe the results in this one. If you wish to know the fruits of the next life, look to the causes you plant today. Every event arises from causes and conditions. Nothing is random, and no one is ever fortunate without having sown goodness. Some blessings are invisible to the eye. Some protections need not take form. Amid life's churning sea, some seem to escape every danger, receiving benign turns of fortune. Some find help at the moment of greatest despair, or glimpse a path when all doors seem closed. Others live simply and joyfully, neither stealing nor fighting, yet remain rich in blessings. They neither compete nor lose out. They are not famed for wealth or status, yet everywhere they go they are loved and honored. These are signs of one whose merit extends beyond this life, formed from a multitude of past lives lived in kindness and compassion. True blessings do not spring from material wealth. They come from how a person lives, with the world, with others, with oneself, and with the triple gem. One who is blessed need not be free of hardship, but when disaster strikes, help arrives, light shines the way, and the heart remains calm like a morning lake. If you feel you have not yet known such blessings, do not despair. Merit can be sown, karma can be accumulated and transformed, and life can change, so long as your aspiration is strong and your intention sincere. Sign 1. Consistently escaping calamity, silent protection of merit. In life's dim maze there are truths felt in the heart though unseen by the eye. Some who appear fragile, yet stand firm through storms. Some facing danger return home unscathed, as if shielded by invisible guardians. The Buddha taught that good or bad deeds follow us like shadows or echoes. Reap what you sow. Misfortune does not strike at random, and surviving unscathed is no random gift, but the result of wholesome karma, the light of virtuous seeds sown in past lives or through quiet good deeds in this one. Peace is not the absence of storms, but remaining unmoved when they come. Some walk the world's glamour as if on a tightrope. One misstep could cast them into an abyss. Others live simply, without riches, yet their hearts are tranquil, their homes safe, their lives preserved. Why? Because they avoid creating evil karma, live kindly, share what they have, dedicate their merit for others, and above all keep their hearts pure. Those who refrain from taking life often enjoy long lives, robust health, and minor troubles. Generosity yields protective merit. In crises, hands reach out to aid. Those who recite the Buddha's name or mantras receive the triple gem's power, turning great peril into minor disturbance, and minor disturbance into none. Those who cultivate a mind free of resentment may find paths shift before them, as if heaven and earth themselves make way. If you have narrowly escaped disaster, if you have been spared calamity against all odds, if you have felt unseen protection, do not attribute it to luck alone. Believe that your blessings are blossoming. But if you have not yet known this, do not be downcast. Blessings can be planted starting today. Begin with the smallest step. Uphold precepts. Refrain from harming beings. Speak gentle words. Give with pure intention. Dedicate the merit to all beings. Each act a seed that will one day bloom as a lotus of blessings. Sign 2. Always finding a way out of difficulty. Karma opening doors. Life is a series of highs and lows. Sometimes a peaceful stream, sometimes a storm-tossed sea. None can avoid facing hardship and dead ends. Some struggle ever deeper, while others glide through barriers as if lifted by an unseen hand. The Buddha taught that in suffering, the wise see light, the deluded flail in darkness. No one escapes all pain, yet some always find an exit. Sometimes a timely word of advice, sometimes a sudden opportunity, sometimes a compassionate friend appearing at the right moment. This is no coincidence, but the result of wholesome causes quietly nurtured. Sign 3. Having many true friends and helpful patrons. In this human realm, there is a wealth unmeasured by money or numbers, sincere friends and benefactors. Some drift through life, yet always find loyal companions. Some are met by hands that lift them when they fall, doors opened when all seemed barred. They are never truly alone, for they have lived lives that honor others. The Buddha said, "A good friend is like a mirror in the dark." Meeting such friends is a rare blessing. Those surrounded by true friends are not so because they flatter or because they are wealthy, but because they have sown seeds of kindness in every interaction. Cherish these connections and live so as never to harm another's fate. One may know 1,000 acquaintances, but only a few true friends. One may hear 10,000 greetings, but only a handful will lift you when you falter. To earn such companionship, first be someone worthy of help, of trust, and of affection. Those who give selflessly will encounter kindness in return. Those who live with loyalty and without envy attract friends as a lamp draws moths. Good people come close, ill-natured stay away. To have true friends is to be truly rich in karma. Benefactors are not summoned by prayer, but appear from seeds we have unconsciously sown. Plant seeds of goodness, and you will harvest kindred spirits. Sign 4. Radiant joy, peace emanating from the heart. Some seem to own little, yet wear a constant smile, speak warm words, meet others with gentle gaze, and walk with serene steps. They do not deny hardship, yet suffering does not master them. In a turbulent world, such individuals are like lotuses blooming in chaos, spreading fragrant peace among people. The Buddha taught, when the mind is pure, the realm is pure. Those with inner tranquility do not let outer storms distress them. True joy arises not from money, status, or measurable gains, but from abiding in the present, from contentment, and from gratitude for what we have. A joyful person is one who turns inward to find the light, not relying on external circumstances to determine happiness. They do not complain about what has passed, nor fear what has yet to come, nor compete with those beside them. They cherish every present moment, sunlight rising, rain falling, birds singing, flowers blooming, all miracles. Happiness is a choice and the fruit of practice. Not everyone is born knowing how to rejoice, but anyone can learn to let go so the heart grows lighter and the mind unburdened. A happy person is not happy because life is easy, but because their heart is vast. An optimist is not free of suffering, but knows how to transform pain into seeds of compassion. Cheerfulness is not a personality trait, but a kind of blessing, a profound wisdom. If you find yourself troubled, do not blame life. Learn to turn inward, notice your breath, your living, the countless things worthy of gratitude. A genuine smile can be sunlight on a cloudy day. A look of understanding can lift a broken heart. Happiness is not for show, but for sharing. It dissolves obstacles. To be happy, make others happy. To receive nourishment, wish nourishment for others. To harvest smiles, sow seeds of kindness. Sign 5. A heart of tolerance and generosity. A vast sky within one's heart. In a world of upheaval, the truly magnanimous preserve an inner calm as wide as the heavens. They are not weak but the strongest, for they dare to forgive, to overlook, to open their hearts and offer others a chance to return. The Buddha taught, respond to hatred with virtue, and hatred will vanish. The tolerant do not hoard anger or harbor resentment. They understand that forgiveness is not condoning another's action, but releasing the burden from one's own heart, freeing oneself to journey lightly through life. Tolerance is not resignation, but the wisdom that sees cause and effect, recognizing that everyone's words and deeds spring from their own karmic habits. With understanding and compassion, one refuses to carry unwarranted burdens. The tolerant walk lightly, bring comfort with their presence, and speak words that calm others. They need no raised voice or heated argument. Their silence is a response, their gentle gaze a balm, their generosity a resolution of conflict. The narrow-minded feel confined even in mansions. The broad-minded feel boundless even in a humble hut. Tolerance is the bridge over hatred, the guiding light in the night of anger. If you have been hurt, forgive, not to absolve the other, but to free yourself. If you have caused suffering, offer a sincere apology, for a heartfelt word can untangle grievances woven through many lifetimes. Live without accumulating grudges. Choose to accumulate merit. The wider your heart, the deeper your blessings, the greater your generosity, the more the heavens will favor you. Sign 6. Bringing good fortune to others. Merit radiates from the heart. Some people bring light wherever they go. Their presence turns danger into safety, rescues the distressed, transforms difficulty into ease. People call them others' good luck. In the light of the Dharma, this is simply the spread of merit, special virtue that benefits not only oneself, but waters all who come into contact. The Buddha taught that one who practices wholesome deeds gains merit that shields both oneself and one's circle. Those who bring good fortune to others do not rely on charms or spells, but on an energy field shaped by their kind intentions, honest actions, gentle words, and benevolent thoughts. Though invisible, this field profoundly influences the lives and karmic connections of everyone they touch. To bring luck to others, one's kindness must outweigh any negativity. No harmful speech, no selfish schemes, no harsh words. Like the sun, they shine on all without discrimination. Those near them feel warmth. Collaborators find success. Friends experience transformation. They ask for no recognition, yet gratitude follows them everywhere. Live simply but with a heart as vast as the sky. Care not only for yourself, but often think first of others. To become a bringer of fortune, begin with a pure heart. To sow blessings for loved ones, be like a lamp that, though unostentatious, still lights the way. To plant wholesome causes in the world, inspire others with compassion. A person who smiles, who loves, who speaks kindly is already a blessing to the world. A person who harms no one, who never oppresses, and who readily offers help is a rare friend indeed. If someone has ever said to you, "Since I met you, my life has improved," rejoice, for you have begun to sow light in this world. If you have not heard such words, do not be sad, for you can start today by living more slowly, more kindly, more compassionately, and viewing others with loving eyes rather than judgment. Sign 7. Well-behaved, talented children, blessings through family. In life's vast ocean, there is a quiet joy more coveted than grandeur. Children who grow virtuous and filial. Some parents may not achieve worldly fame, yet when they speak of their children, their eyes glow with a contentment that no material wealth can match. The Buddha taught, parents create blessings, their children reap the benefit. Good children are the fruit of parents who lived righteously, cultivating virtue in past lives. Talented, respectful children reflect not only present guidance, but the parents' karmic merit from lifetimes past and from wholesome deeds in this life. Why do some humble households raise exemplary offspring? Because true blessings lie not in grand homes, but in the roots of heart and karma. Children do not become good by luck, but because the right seeds were sown. Live kindly, avoid harmful deeds. No killing, no sexual misconduct, no deceit. Practice generosity, help others, share when you can. Uphold the Buddha's teachings with humility and compassion. As you sow, so shall you reap. Children are the living legacy of their parents' virtue. A child born into poverty can become a noble person if nurtured with love and moral guidance. To raise good children, parents must first be worth emulating. To teach filial piety, parents must live in ways worthy of respect. To help children succeed, accumulate merit and model goodness in every small action. Do not leave only wealth behind. Leave wisdom and integrity. Do not pray merely for your child to pass exams. Pray for your child to live virtuously. Do not worry only about your child's education. Nurture their character and moral heart. Parents who accumulate merit bring peace to their children. Parents free of wrongdoing spare their children from disaster. Parents who live kindly secure their children's path. This is no miracle but the fair and wondrous working of cause and effect. Sign 8. A blessed, amiable appearance. A person with a benevolent countenance and a likable presence. Such features arise from the heart, and blessings are created by the mind. Some people win our affection at first sight. Their eyes are gentle, their faces radiant, their voices soft, and their steps unhurried like a soothing breeze. They need no adornment or lavish garments. Their mere presence brings comfort to others. The Buddha taught, form is born of mind, and circumstances change with the mind. As the mind is, so the appearance will be. A serene, kindly face is not purely innate, but the fruit of countless virtuous deeds sown across many lifetimes. A blessed appearance is not merely good genetics. It is the culmination of countless moments when anger was withheld, harsh words were unsaid, selfish calculations were abandoned, and a life of kindness and helpfulness was quietly lived. A pure heart gradually reveals itself through one's bearing. Deeper eyes, kinder smiles, warmer speech, lighter steps. Every gesture infused with peace. Conversely, one whose life is steeped in anger and ill speech often has sharp, troubled eyes and a clouded expression that unsettles those around them. To cultivate a gentle appearance, practice gentleness. To be loved, speak words that soothe. To transform your outward form for the better, refine your heart. No surgery or makeup required, only inner cultivation. A mindful person who maintains a kind heart and practices compassion will naturally radiate an inner beauty that captivates others. True beauty lies not in skin, but in the light emitted by a benevolent heart, not in form, but in a presence that brings ease and reassurance. This is the hallmark of one richly blessed. Sign 9. Unshakable spirit and courage. A mind steadfast amid countless storms on life's path. Some endure trial after trial and never falter. They do not waver at praise or blame, nor retreat before hardship. Their spirit is like a mountain, their heart like an ocean. Their resolute courage is like an ancient tree standing tall in a deep forest. Such people need no outward display of valor. Their silent presence alone commands respect. The Buddha taught, those whose minds are unmoved by praise or blame, honor or disgrace, gain or loss, pleasure or pain, these are the wise. True fortitude is not the absence of difficulty, but the refusal to surrender to it. Trials do not destroy them, but hone their true nature. Each recovery from a fall strengthens their inner power, enlarges their wisdom, and purifies their soul. Those with steadfast spirit live by principles. They do not sacrifice integrity for gain, nor trade virtue for fame. They know when to step back in order to leap forward, and how to maintain equanimity amid controversy. They walk in mindfulness, keep a calm heart through suffering, never lose faith, and never boast of their abilities. Yet they become pillars for others. A blessed person need not be rich, but they are always rich in character. Courage cannot be borrowed. It must be forged through adversity. In life's turbulent seas, those who preserve inner peace are the true victors. If you face hardship, do not despair. Every thorny path is a chapter of experience. Every wound, a lesson in compassion. Every failure, a rung on the ladder of growth. To develop courage, live authentically. Do not follow the crowd. Do not allow your heart to be bent by distorted values. To gain fortitude, learn to remain silent amid storms, calm amid praise, and unwavering amid chaos. Such people walk life's path lightly yet firmly, silently yet powerfully. Sign 10. Gentle, harmonious speech, the light of kind words. In daily life, words wield invisible yet tremendous power. A single phrase can lift someone from despair. A single phrase can cast another into ruin. Amid the world's clamor, those who speak kindly and calmly bring blessings to themselves and to others. The Buddha taught, a word of loving kindness is like a lotus blossoming in a pond, soothing even the driest hearts. Those who speak gently do so not because they never face disagreement, but because they have learned to transform suffering into compassion. They guard their speech as one would tend a fragrant lotus without a sound. Gentle speakers understand the value of calmness. They refrain from judgment and harmful words. When conflicts arise, they choose speech that eases tension rather than intensifies it. Kind words wound no one, but can profoundly transform hearts. Preserving wholesome speech preserves one's blessings. Conversely, harsh language, even if justified, seldom earns respect. Words are like sharp blades, cutting as deeply as they are wielded. Those who use cruelty to win arguments ultimately lose the hearts of others. To be loved, speak pleasing words. To be honored, speak truth gently. To safeguard your merit, maintain pure speech. Speaking kindly is a form of practice few master, but those who do, by listening to their own hearts, can. The greatly blessed are those who know when to remain silent, choose the right words, and speak with a kind heart. In a world rife with conflict, a gentle word is a lifesaver. Amidst harsh voices, a loving phrase is a bridge of compassion. Train yourself to speak softly, not only so others will listen, but so your own heart may become lighter. Speaking with compassion sows seeds of goodness in yourself and in all the world. Conclusion: the fruit of a virtuous life. Blessing is not happenstance, but the result of a life lived in goodness. Reflecting on these 10 signs of those richly blessed, we see that blessings lie not in amassed possessions, but in the way one lives, through words, actions, and thoughts. Blessings do not fall from the sky, but are achieved step by step, day by day, through every wholesome intention. They are the fruit of countless seeds of virtue quietly sown throughout one's life. These seeds are unconditional kindness, impartial compassion, virtues preserved in silence, patience unseen by others, and gratitude for life's smallest moments. The truly blessed surpass others not by what they possess, but by what they have let go. They surpass not by having more, but by giving more. They shine not through prominence, but through unwavering calm. The Buddha taught that if you wish to know your past lives, look at your present life. If you wish to know where your future will lead, observe the actions you take today. If you are still suffering today, do not become discouraged, for blessings may not yet have arrived, but you are already sowing their seeds. If you live today with serenity, be grateful, for you may have lived with great virtue in the past. Every kind word, every moment of meditation, every act of forgiveness opens a door for light to enter. Each one plants another seed of blessing for this life and the next. Keep your mind pure. Keep your heart bright. Keep your speech wholesome. Keep your conduct gentle. One day, when you look back, you will realize that you need very little in life, only to live with kindness. Then blessings, like a quiet spring breeze, will come unannounced yet with gentle grace. May we all have the affinity to live lives full of blessings, not only to bring peace to ourselves, but to radiate peace to those around us. Homage to the original teacher, Sakyamuni Buddha. Why do people suffer in this ever-changing realm of human life? People constantly yearn for happiness, but the more they seek it, the more they become entangled in the net of ignorance, and the deeper their suffering grows. The Buddha taught that the root of suffering does not lie in external conditions, but arises from the mind itself. While the mind clings to things that are not its own, suffering remains an endless cycle. All things in the world follow the law of birth, aging, sickness, and death. Flowers bloom, then wither. The moon waxes, then wanes. A human life arises only to return to dust. Everything, from form to thought, is governed by impermanence. Because people refuse to accept this truth, they suffer. We lament days gone by. We grieve for youth that will never return. We ache when loved ones depart and feel pain at loss. Because we cannot accept impermanence, we cling to what is gone. When love fades, we blame fate. When our careers collapse, we torment ourselves or curse destiny. When dear ones leave, we drown in sorrow, failing to see that separation is an inevitable part of life. Consider a leaf falling in autumn. It does not regret the branch it once clung to. It does not mourn being carried away by the wind. It accepts the natural law, letting go to drift in the breeze and return to the earth to continue its journey. Yet human beings cannot let go so lightly. We always want to hold on to what we love. We wish everything would last forever, forgetting that the nature of all things is impermanence. Thank you for listening. Our meeting here is not by chance, but an opportunity to awaken together in this realm of dreams. Slow down. Breathe more deeply. Each moment of mindfulness is a flower blooming in the heart. In the multitude of life's sounds, may these words of the true Dharma be a small lamp in the darkness of ignorance. If what you have heard today has lightened your heart, please subscribe to the channel as a gentle encouragement. If you have something to share, leave a comment, for your words may become a support for someone else who is weary. We bow in gratitude to every eye that pauses and every heart that listens.